Lust. Lust is a psychological force producing intense desire for something or circumstance while already having a significant amount of the desired object. Lust can take any form, such as the lust for sexuality, money, or power. Imagine it as an insatiable hunger that drives us to seek more, often at the expense of reason and morality. It can take such mundane forms as the lust for food, as distinct from the need for food, or lust for redolence, when one is lusting for a particular smell that brings back memories. Henry Edward Manning explains that the impurity of lust transforms one into a slave of the devil. Lust is generally thought to be the least serious capital sin. Thomas Aquinas considers it an abuse of a faculty that humans share with animals, and sins of the flesh are less grievous than spiritual sins. Some of the lust examples are sexual lust, an intense craving for sexual pleasure; lust for money, obsessive desire for wealth and material possessions; lust for power, seeking dominance and control over others; gluttony. It is the overindulgence and overconsumption of anything to the point of waste. The word derives from the Latin glutire, meaning to gulp down or swallow. Gluttony refers to excessive desire for food, drinks, or material possessions. It's like having an insatiable appetite that can never be satisfied. Picture someone devouring plate after plate of food or accumulating possessions beyond necessity. Did you know drunkenness, which is caused by excessive consumption of intoxicating beverages, is considered a type of gluttony, as a deadly sin? Gluttony is believed to spur other sins and further immoral behavior. According to John Piper, there are a lot of reasons for gluttony in our culture. It's not just that we eat a lot of bad food. We're also pretty inactive and don't do a lot of walking, biking. Oftentimes, gluttony issues are connected as much to activity issues as they are to what goes into our mouths. Muscles are designed to burn food, but if they aren't being used, then any amount of food is going to result in gluttony. Some of the gluttony examples are: number 1, luxurious food, excessive indulgence in rich or extravagant meals. Number 2, eating too much food, consuming beyond necessity, often leading to obesity. Number 3, eating greedily, rushing through meals without savoring them. Greed. Greed is an uncontrollable desire for wealth beyond what we truly need. It's like hoarding money, possessions, or resources. Even when others are in need, greed blinds us to the suffering of others and makes us prioritize our own gain. Greed is when someone wants more and more of something, like money or possessions, even if they already have enough. For example, imagine a person who already has plenty of food but still takes more than they need, leaving others with less. Or think about someone who has lots of money but still wants more and is willing to do anything to get it, even if it means hurting others. Greed is like a never-ending hunger that can lead to selfishness and harm to others. Main examples are hoarding wealth, accumulating money and possessions beyond reasonable needs; exploitative business practices, prioritizing profit over ethical considerations; envy-driven ambition, coveting what others have and relentlessly pursuing it. Sloth. Sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins in Catholic teachings. It is the most difficult sin to define and credit as sin, since it refers to an assortment of ideas, dating from antiquity and including mental, spiritual, pathological, and conditional states. Sloth is the sin of laziness or unwillingness to exert effort. It's not just physical laziness. It can also manifest as a lack of motivation or purpose. Imagine someone who avoids work, not because they can't, but because they lack the drive to do so. Sloth is when someone is lazy and doesn't want to do their work or chores. For example, imagine a student who has homework to do, but decides to watch TV instead because they don't feel like doing the work. Or think about someone who has a job, but always comes in late and doesn't put effort into their tasks. Sloth is like not wanting to move or do anything productive, which can hold you back from achieving your goals. Some other examples are procrastination, avoiding responsibilities and tasks; indolence, lack of motivation or effort; apathy, feeling indifferent towards personal growth or societal contributions. Wrath, also known as anger or rage, is an intense emotional state involving a strong, uncomfortable, and non-cooperative response to hurt or threat, also often leading to harmful actions, driven by a desire for revenge or retribution. It's like a raging fire within us, ready to explode when we're wronged or denied what we want. Wrath consumes reason and leads to destructive actions. For instance, think about a person who gets into a fight because someone accidentally bumped into them. Or imagine someone who yells and says mean things to others when they're upset. Wrath is like a big storm of anger that can hurt others and cause a lot of trouble. It's important to control our anger and find peaceful ways to deal with it instead of lashing out. Let's take a look at a few other examples. Number 1. Uncontrolled anger, reacting aggressively or violently. Number 2. Seeking revenge, holding grudges and desiring harm to others. Number 3. Hatred, intense hostility towards individuals or groups.
Envy.
It is an emotion which occurs when a person lacks another's quality, skill, achievement, or possession and wishes that the other lacked it. Envy arises when we want what others have. It's a negative feeling, disliking someone because they possess something we desire. Envy can make us resentful and blind to our own blessings. There are 2 types of envy. Number 1, malicious envy. Malicious envy is an unpleasant emotion that causes the envious person to want to bring down the better off even at their own cost. Number 2, benign envy. It means you see someone doing well, and instead of feeling jealous, it makes you want to work hard and be just as good yourself. It's like a positive kind of envy that pushes you to improve. Let me give you examples. Jealousy, resenting others' success or possessions. Comparing oneself unfavorably, feeling inadequate due to others' achievements. Pride, also known as hubris or futility, it is considered the original and worst of the 7 deadly sins. Pride is an exaggerated sense of self-importance. It's when we believe we're better than others, disregarding their achievements. Proud individuals may be arrogant or boastful, lacking empathy for those around them. Imagine a person who brags a lot about their achievements and doesn't listen to what others have to say because they believe they're always right. Or think about someone who refuses to ask for help because they think it makes them look weak. Pride is like thinking you're the best and not being open to learning from others or admitting when you're wrong. Some of the examples are arrogance, thinking you're better than everyone else, refusing help, saying no to assistance because you think you can do everything on your own, boasting, talking a lot about what you've done to make people think you're amazing.